views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
You are listening to Animal Soul Wisdom Radio, tapping into wisdom of our animals, angels, and masters with Darcy Pariso. Tune in monthly to learn how you can better understand your animals and deepen your relationship. This hit show calls attention to the many roles animals play in our lives. Through stories and insights, Darcy shares how animals assist us in raising our consciousness and fulfilling our soul's purpose. These busy healers help us with transitions and challenges, love us, and want us to have more joy in our lives. Are you ready to see yourself through your animal's eyes? Learn how they're helping you and walk through life with more ease and grace? Working with ancient healing practices, Darcy can guide you and provide inspiration to move forward. To learn more, go to darcypariso.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Darcy Pariso. I'm the host of Animal Soul Wisdom, and I'm here every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So you can just go to the Transformation Talk Radio weekly schedule and get those times. Otherwise, check out my Facebook page. It's Angels and Animals, and there's a lot of fun animal stories and things that'll make your heart swell and make you laugh. So check that out. And I'm sure most of you probably know that my guest today is Robin Alexis. And Robin was on the show just a couple of weeks ago, and we really had a lot of fun. We always do. So we wanted to do it again, and we also wanted to have the opportunity to get to your calls. So it's twofold. So here we are. We're taking calls today throughout the show. And grab your pen or your phone, because I'm going to give the call-in number. And that is 800-930-2819. That's 800-930-2819. And then Carter's also going to let us know when the callers are on the line and ready to go. Robin, welcome back to Animal Soul Wisdom.
Hi, Darcy. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. You have done so much in your life that I'd have to have you on multiple times to cover everything.
Well, maybe we will.
Yeah, that would be nice. So Robin's a radio host. She's been on television shows. She's an author. She's a Reiki practitioner, a world-renowned psychic, and so much more. And I know that a lot of you know her from Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis. And Robin, you've been on the air for about, 14 years?
14 years, yes.
Wow. I bet you have.
My show, Mystic Radio with Robin Alexis, is on Wednesdays at noon on KKNW. I am changing my format. It's going to be slightly different starting September 4th, so people can stay tuned for that and find out what's going on. It's going to be fun, just like this is fun.
Oh, I bet. You know, I was reading your bio. You've got so much that you've done. I saw that you work for government agencies, have corporate clients, law enforcement, and so much more. But one of the things that we talked about that you've mentioned to me is that, you know, what is your passion? And you brought up the metaphysical mothering.
Yes, I really am called to be of service to women who want to become moms, and whether, fathers too, obviously, but whether you are having infertility issues or you just want to have a conscious conception, I highly recommend that you do take advantage of the services that I provide, because it's in between lives that we're able to communicate to the baby spirit that will be our future child, and we can consciously coordinate clearing past life issues, any reaction formations, possible genetic or personality differences. You know, sometimes after parents-to-be speak with a baby spirit, they will discern that they're actually not a good match energetically. And so then they will invite for a different baby spirit to come in. So it's extremely conscious and very, very helpful. I work with a number of women who have had infertility issues where they have spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to figure out why they weren't getting pregnant. And they would have sessions with me, and it would clear the energy that was contributing to the problem, and then it would open the field and it'd be able to conceive. Right now, I probably have 8 mothers that I'm working with, which is very exciting. They were all women who used in vitro, or different techniques to become pregnant because they were having difficulty. And it's very exciting, very, very rewarding work. And I've got some kids now that I worked with their moms before they got pregnant, and now the kids are graduating from high school. So I'm talking about 8 women who are pregnant now, but I've been doing this for decades. So if you're out there and you want to know what the karmic patterns are or karmic issues with your kids, even if they're not babies to be or in the womb already, you can also get in touch with me for a session for that, or you can call into the show. That would be really fun. But you can learn more about that at robinalexis.com. I have a special page and a special price that I charge for my work, which is $100 less than my regular readings because I love to help parents. So thank you for asking me that, Darcy.
I wish that I had known that long ago because it would have been very helpful for me. I lost a child shortly after birth, and to be able to, talk with her, and then the next pregnancy was very challenging because of maybe the stress of it. But I guess I didn't know.
I'm so sorry. How did you handle that when the baby was born? Did you name the baby? Do you have a funeral for the baby? How did that work for you?
Oh, I had, wow.
If you don't mind talking about it.
No, I never know where we're going to go. No, I'm open. I had the model pregnancy, and I was over the moon in love with this child. I made her cassette tapes with all my favorite songs of, love and support. So when she came into the world, those songs would be playing. And her name was Kelsey. And it was about a week or 2 before she was due that I started bleeding. And the doctor said, "Oh, don't worry, just come in for your regular appointment." But I knew intuitively that something was really wrong. And sure enough, she was the one baby in the state of Washington that had osteogenesis imperfecta, which is, it's just, they said it's a genetic fluke. They don't know why it happens. They're studying it. And the world-renowned specialist was Dr. Peter Byers, who was here at the University of Washington Hospital. Mm-hmm. And he said, it is so rare to meet somebody. Usually I get case studies or samples or whatever, but to actually meet parents, it's only happened like once or twice, in his whole career. So, but what I learned about that was I did work with you later, and what I learned was that my baby Kelsey was a past life, and she only needed to be in the world for a short period of time. And I agreed to host her and give her that and to love her. So it was all tied to past lives.
Which is why I have switched my focus to doing past life readings blended with this metaphysical mothering. My primary goal is to help people know, trust, and act upon their own knowing. And the easiest way, or the most direct funnel for that, is to learn what is your knowing. It's your intuition. What's your intuition? It's your soul's guidance. What's that? Well, it's whatever you've learned in all of your experiences. So if we're able to access that, we become more adept at becoming creator gods and creator goddesses, not only in terms of creating motherhood and fatherhood, but for anything that we're creating, we can develop the art of doing it more consciously. And so I feel, Kelsey, I bless her. And I had a daughter that died, and her name was Darcy. And the only person who's ever been able to be a medium for me to speak with my daughter is you, Darcy. And it's so exciting for me to be on the air with you and even know you, but to know your name is Darcy and to speak it out loud, it's like nobody's named Darcy. So it's really kind of interesting for us to share our stories about our babies and mediumship and past life healing, and now provide these services to other people. So I'm sure, like you, we're looking forward to working with people here.
Very much so. Very much so. And I remember in that particular past life, it was Kelsey was a priest in the time of the Romans, and she was, a male at that time, and was at the end of her life. But at this time, she had trained me to be a healer and to take her place as people would, line up and I would heal them. And so that was what she gave to me. But unfortunately, it didn't last too long. I ended up being beheaded as a witch.
Oh, yeah. No. Did you heal that?
I think so.
You must have, or you wouldn't be, a world famous pet communicator and medium yourself. So good for you.
Yeah. I mean, you never know what's going to come up. And sometimes it sounds pretty wild, but it's like you couldn't make this stuff up.
Yeah. No, you can't make it up. It's too divine.
Mm-hmm. And people feel it. I mean, they know when it's right. You feel it in your body.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. And so you've also written a book.
I've written 2 books, yes.
Mm-hmm.
My first book that I published was called Raising Humanity. And it actually was a compilation of being written by myself and 22 other storytellers. And I'd been inspired to write the book because in October of 1998, in a nanosecond, I was shown a flash of the shootings that were going to happen in Colorado in April of 1999. And I was shown that was going to become a pattern in our country of these school shootings and strange shootings. And then I was also shown the events that were going to happen on 9/11. And that's actually how I became involved with some of the different government agencies, but that's a story for another time. Basically, after the events of 9/11 occurred, I was guided by Mary Magdalene, who was one of my spirit guides, to put this book together. And at the end of it, I have 114 ways to know that you're a metaphysical mother. And that I actually trademarked. It's a parenting technique, a soul-based, not gender-based parenting technique, where it's really about how we all mother ourselves and mother each other, and how we consciously bring ourselves to life and create life. And when we do that, we don't create opportunity for war or violence to exist at all, because we have gone about it differently. So that's how that book got created. The second book is called Robin's Song, and that Treasure Your Soul's Wisdom. And that is about knowing, trusting, and acting upon your own knowing. And it's my life story. It's about how I woke up, and it wasn't easy. But you can read about that in the book. Both of those books are available for free on my website, robinalexis.com. You go to the link, Meet Robin Alexis, and as you read down below, you'll see you can read both of those ebooks for free. The book Robin's Song, I'm extremely excited about. It has inspired a screenplay. And I say inspired because over a year ago, I asked a scriptwriter by the name of Brownell Landrum to make my Robin's Song into a movie script. And she said yes, and she started working on it. And then she called me one day and she said, this is just a tragic story. How about if we change it into an animated musical for children and we make you into a bird? And the characters are birds, and we teach the stories of the things that you learned from these bird characters. And so we have this most amazing script. We do have a Facebook page called Robin's Song, where she mainly posts the most beautiful pictures of birds. And anyway, we have the script. She started out, she wrote it as a children's story. Then we have it as a script. It is being marketed and seen by some very, very famous producers in Hollywood. And we're waiting to hear back who might pick it up and make it into a movie. So thank you for asking me about that too. And I'll keep you posted if we hear back from someone. And our entertainment lawyer will continue to share it with other people. And if anybody's listening to this and you know a producer, or you are a producer, it is an amazing, fun movie. I'm sure it's going to change the world. It's just got to be made.
I read these books a long time ago, and I was scanning through them again, and I think that's wonderful. I'm so happy.
It's very, very exciting. Yeah. So if you want to join the fun on Facebook, go to Robin's Song. That's the Facebook page. And I'm sure we'll be sharing some things there. And I'm sure on this radio show and on Mystic Radio, we will be discussing that more and more because it's very, very exciting.
Hey, Robin, we have to take a short break, but while we do, why don't you give out your website? People can be scrolling through it.
Thank you. It's robinalexis.com. I do invite you there, and I hope you have fun on the website.
Okay. Well, you're listening to Animal Soul Wisdom with Darcy Pariso and her special guest, Robin Alexis. We'll be back soon, and we'll check in with more on Robin. Thanks for listening.
Tune in to Knowledge Book Radio with host Marge Potasic each Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Through many experiences, Marge was led to the Knowledge Book, a gift to humanity in its transition to the Golden Age, and it provided the truth and the answers. She now shares information from the Knowledge Book with you each week on TransformationTalkRadio.com. For more information, visit usa.theknowledgebook.net.
Are you feeling stuck in unhealthy habits, toxic relationships, or low self-esteem? Do you crave a healthy relationship filled with inspiration? You might just be on the verge of attracting your soulmate. Tune in each month to The Laura Richer Show, where dating coach Laura Richer and co-host matchmaker Peggy Bennett share tools for using your dating breakdown for a relationship breakthrough. For more information, visit richerhealinghypnosis.com.
If you've ever had a broken heart, you know how painful that can be and how long it can sometimes take to heal it. I'm Megan Edge, author of The Heart's Journey, Healing Hearts, Oracle Cards, and Guidebook, published with Balboa Press and Hay House. In The Heart's Journey, I share with you my own heartbreak and how I healed it through the beautiful hearts that found me in nature. From taking photographs of these hearts for myself, I've created this beautiful toolkit, which includes the guidebook, which has my story, how to work with oracle cards as a healing tool, and the story of each of these hearts as they cross my path. I've also created a beautiful journal. There's a pen, a bookmark, and of course, the 42 Healing Hearts oracle cards. You can order The Heart's Journey, Healing Hearts, Oracle Cards, and Guidebook through my website, meganedge.ca, through Balboa Press, Amazon, and many other places online or your local shops. I look forward to hearing about your heart's healing.
What is holding you back from living the life you are meant to live? Why is it vital to believe in something bigger than yourself? Are you in physical or emotional pain? Tune in monthly to Vibrant Purposeful Living. Awaken the vibrant life within you with Lou Paradise and Dr. Pat on TransformationTalkRadio.com. Lou's passion is to help everyone experience positive solutions for life. Find out more about Lou with Vibrant Purposeful Living at louparadise.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Animal Soul Wisdom. This is Darcy Pariso, and thanks for joining us. Robin Alexis is here from Mystic Radio, and we are taking your calls, and I guess we've got kind of a pile of them right now, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Is that okay, Robin?
Yes, but before we do, I'd like to tell people who are listening that when I do Darcy's show, I offer a special on my one-on-one phone readings. And the way to get the special, if you want to book a private session, is you call my husband, Bob, who's on standby right now, to take the calls for the $50 off your one-on-one phone sessions. That number is 530-859-2499. That's 530-859-2499. You do need to mention that you are seeing this on Animal Soul Wisdom, and he will book your appointment at $50 off. So I wanted to let people know that before the end of the show.
Thank you. That's really generous of you. And we were talking a little bit, and I said, I think I'll do the same on our reading. If you call and say that you listen to the show with Robin, then you get $50 off. Hey, I heard you and Robin Alexis, and it's yours. Bingo.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So Carter, who do we have on the line?
All right. We have Alita from Seattle. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Alita.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here with you too.
Thank you. So how can we help you?
Well, I just lost the most important person in my life just a little over 3 weeks ago. And I my greatest desire to communicate. And I'd love to learn how to do that without necessarily on my own, you know. And my big question, honestly, to you is I've heard so many things about people when they cross over that perhaps they need time before they can come through. And I wondered what your opinion was on that.
Robin, would you like to go ahead?
Alita, first of all, I want to tell you I'm deeply sorry for your loss. And one of the things I can share with you is that in your field, I'm seeing a tremendous amount of grief. And what I found when I lost my daughter, that even though I could do my own mediumship work, the grief would block the ability for me to hear clearly what my daughter was saying to me.
That makes sense.
So one of the ways that you can first become adept at hearing this beloved person that is now not with you physically is to address your grief. So I can help you with that, but I'd also like to have the name of the person that you're referring to. And actually what I'm hearing is to have you speak a little bit about that person and like what's your favorite memory of that person.
Oh, wow. You mean right in this minute?
If you would, yes. If you're uncomfortable, I'm going to give it over to Darcy and see what she's getting.
No.
Okay.
I thank you for guiding me. His name is Charles, and my favorite memory is just how special he made other people feel in his presence.
Okay. Well, I can feel him now starting to come through. He does want you to know that he has made it to the other side. And right now, the image that I'm seeing him in, he's either gone into like a little plasma field space where I don't see a lot of other energy around him. Like sometimes I'll see other people around a person, or I'll see them in a room or outdoors or whatever. He seems to be in some sort of orb, almost like he's inside of a plasma field. And so let me just see if Charles will tell us why he's moved into that. Oh, okay. So what he just said is that the reason why he went into that is because he knew you were going to be calling into the show. His guides and guardian angels, where he is, had let him know that you were going to call in, you were going to be able to be live on the air. And so in order to help you, and he moved into this energy orb so that you would be able to have an uncluttered beginning of communication with him. So I feel that he's going to stay in that energy probably for a while until you can gain access to him. He's also showing me that part of the issue is past life things, that when two souls have cords that are still moving in different lifetimes that maybe are unfinished, it can also up-level the grief because you may not have addressed the feelings, which are timeless as they come up from past lives, and it can really intensify the experience of grief, and it can also be a little confusing. So what I hear Charles saying is that you would be well served to work with someone individually to address processing the grief, and also to address the previous incarnations. And from that, I feel that you would begin to be able to establish communication with this individual. I'm also getting that Darcy is receiving information that she can also share. Is that true, Darcy?
I have been getting some things. I'm just feeling him. I'm feeling his heart and his love, and I'm just really feeling him like this. It's like this vastness around him, and I'm just feeling that so much coming towards you, Alita. And I was also hearing, it's coming through quickly. I was also hearing that in time this will be easy for you. There will be this connection that there's. These are like ties that bind, and he will be in your life, you will be able to connect with him. And I also feel that you're going to be driving down the road one day, and this is just one way that this could come. It'll happen in a multitude of ways. But I see you just driving down the road in the future, and you're just feeling like, he's there, he's with you. Say, no, remember we did this, or he's in the car next to you, in the seat next to you. And I feel that he's going to just kind of come in little ways to play with you and to make you happy and to make you laugh and to bring the memories up. And he's looking forward to that. But that feels like it's, he's going down the road, and he keeps making these references about, the road and the car and radio songs. And it's going to be, it's very sad, and I'm very sorry for your loss. I truly am. But there will be a time where it's going to be a playful energy, and it's going to be fun. And he also feels like I'm not saying that he'll be your guide, but he's going to be somebody that will always have that heart connection that will help to guide you. And he's kind of giving you a little bit of a push, like showing you the direction. So I do see some beautiful things ahead for you.
Oh, thank you so much. I want to share with you, Darcy, that I have his hat in the passenger seat of my car. So that really resonates with me. I can see that being a possibility for sure.
Yeah. And when you said that, he was funny.
Yeah, when you said that, Darcy, I also heard that he's on the road trip with her for life. So it's just not this one life. It's like many, many lifetimes. So finding your connection and deepening it is going to be a very joyous experience for the two of you. So really bow to you, bow to him, and thank you for the call.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's been helpful.
Thank you, Lita.
Namaste.
All right. Love to you guys. Bye-bye.
Love you. Bye-bye. Okay. So, Carter, who's up next?
All right. So we have Sierra from Seattle. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Sierra. Hi, Sierra. Welcome.
Hi.
How can we help you?
Hello. I was calling in because I have been feeling really ungrounded and as if my energy is kind of just all over the place and feeling really blocked and kind of lost. I feel like I'm coming through the dark night of the soul, and I'm at a place where there are many opportunities and things I could go, and I'm just feeling lost and ungrounded and feel like my soul's trying to tell me something and I don't know what it is.
Well, Robin, I'm going to let you start because Robin is an expert in getting people grounded, and I have contacted her for this service many times myself.
Okay. So, Sierra, these feelings that you're having of feeling ungrounded, blocked, like you're going through the dark night of the soul and lost, do you think that is your energy, someone else's energy, or a combination of your energy and someone else's?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I've just had a lot of life changes that are for the good, and I believe everything, I've chosen this life, but I know that I am to be a being of service in this lifetime, but at this point, I'm stuck and lost.
Okay, so if you're moving in the trajectory that you are where you want to be of service more like this, the number one thing you want to become adept at is when your energy gets cluttered, you want to pause. Or if you get like intense feelings and you don't know where they're coming from, you ask yourself, is this your energy, someone else's, or a combination? If it's someone else's or a combination, the initial step is to clear your energy. Now, the technique that I use the most commonly on the air is a technique with the In God We Trust Angels. And I say it 3 times because I feel like it clears energy, body, mind, and soul. So I'm going to do it for you, but it would be good for you to learn how to do this for yourself, to become aware of your energy and clear it. And then I'll give you some more techniques after we do that. So here we go. In God we trust, angels. Thank you for sweeping your nets through Sierra's energy fields. And thank you for taking with you anything out of alignment with her high self and bring it back to source love now. In God we trust, angels. Thank you for sweeping your nets through Sierra's energy fields. And thank you for taking with you anything out of alignment with her high self and bringing it back to source love now. In God we trust, angels. Thank you for sweeping your nets through Sierra's energy fields, and thank you for taking with you anything out of alignment with her high self and bring it back to source love now. In God we trust, angels. Thank you, and we call upon source love, source love, source love. Please reinstate Sierra with her highest and holiest energies, body, mind, and soul. We ask for assistance from her guides and guardian angels, her masters and ascended masters to there you go. Now I can feel you coming back in. Sierra, what are you feeling in your body now?
So much better.
Okay. So become aware of your feet and become aware of energy coming out your feet like roots going deep, deep, deep down into the core of Mother Earth, where they connect in with the iron core crystal within Mother Earth. That's the place. There you go, right there. You've got it. And feel your energy begin to receive from that. That energy in the inner earth is called the fountain of youth energy. It was placed there eons ago to be the support, to be the fuel that allows us to be in our full authentic selves and receive the energy. Can you feel that? I'm watching you receive it. Can you feel it yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah. Namaste. Darcy, did you have something you wanted to add, or should we go to the next call?
Well, I just was going to add that it's really powerful. Robin taught me this many years ago, and I use it not only for myself, but to clear my home. So you can use it, you can change the words, but use it for your home also.
And I do want to remind people listening that if you feel your energy is off kilter and you want a session, you can get $50 off from a session by calling my husband right now at 530-859-2499. 530-859-2499. Tell him you're listening to the show, Animal Soul Wisdom. You think Darcy and Robin are fun. Ha ha, aren't we? And $50 off and you can get your energy recalibrated. And so, yeah, this is fun. How about you, Darcy?
It is fun. And I have to tell you that if you have a reading with Robin, first of all, I highly encourage you to do it because it'll be such an incredible experience. You'll never forget it. And it can actually be life-changing. And I kid you not, because I've had a lot of readings and my life is totally different.
Well, and if you need a pet communicator, I use Darcy as well. Same thing. Call her and get your $50 off for the session with Darcy. So
please do.
All right. Who's our next caller?
All right. So we have Leslie from Seattle. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Darcy. I have been in a class with you years ago with that Robin co-taught, and a while back I called in on, I think it was on Animal World, and asked you about my Sheba, who had died at age 16, and you said that she wasn't planning on coming back, and that and she had a message for me that was that was to say I trust, for me to trust, and so I've been working that. I've been using that, and finding it very, very, very grounding, very heart opening. And I've also been working a lot recently with Robin on past lives, and I cannot believe what is showing up for me. And the reason I'm telling all this is that she's really helped me get a better bond together with my husband, and he had a cat named Kitty, who was a Seal Point Siamese, and king of the neighborhood, sort of don't mess with me kind of cat. And I never met him, but my husband just loved this cat, and I have been yearning for a pet. I think what I've really been yearning for is a guide, an animal guide. And
I can't believe you said that. Oh, I have
anyway,
to talk.
so I was wondering what you see.
Well, you were talking about Sheba, and that I said she wasn't coming back, and I remember.
Her name was Lady, but she was a Sheba Inu.
Oh, her name was Lady. I didn't hear that. I didn't hear the name. I thought you said. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
I didn't say the name.
Okay. I was going to say I remembered. Because I remembered somebody calling about Sheba, and I mean, there's some recognition here, but I don't remember the details. But as you were talking about Lady, I felt that she's your guide, and she didn't come back, but she's still helping you, and she's like an animal guide for you. And then you said it, so you have one. It doesn't mean you can't have more, but
yes, one that I can tap.
Well, sure, you can do that. Sure, you can have an animal. You can bring an animal into your life, but I'm telling you that Lady is, as you were talking, I saw that the Sheba cat Lady is your guide and is helping you. And I also felt that she's the one that's instrumental in bringing animals to you. So it's a conversation with her and saying you're ready, and that's where what I was seeing. Did you see anything like that, Robin?
No, I did not. Well, what I saw was I have a guide named Sheba. And so Sheba was coming through, and I was like, why is my guide Sheba coming through? But then it's because it was the type of dog was a Sheba, but the dog's name was Lady, and that is her guide. Sheba's my guide. I hadn't put it together. You put it together. So that's great. That's really exciting. And
a dog looking as a guide. You want a cat, and whose cat is it? A friend's?
Well, it was my husband who had the cat that he dearly loved. I had the Shiba Inu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I was wondering if you knew anything about that cat. Does his old cat have any messages for us, or will that cat return?
Okay, and what was this cat's name? I don't want to get these names confused. Kitty. Oh, okay. Okay. So Kitty, why don't you say a few things about him, and I'll tune into him a little more.
About him?
Yeah, about Kitty, about the cat Kitty.
Oh, about Kitty. See, I never met Kitty, but Kitty really, my husband used to describe him saying that he was more like a dog than a cat because he was just tough. Okay. And he would scare dogs out of the yard.
Well, as soon as I asked the question, I saw him being really grounded in his body. Like he just really walked. He had a presence, and he made his presence known. It wasn't the cat that kind of scattered, kind of scampered across the room in and out. This was like, I'm here, and I hear like he's calling himself. He was kind of like the boss man, and that's how he saw himself. And he felt that I was here, to be present. And he felt very proud of himself, and he felt that was his one of his core reasons for being here, to be a role model of strength. And he's talking about compatibility too. So it feels like he was compatible with your husband because he's talking about compatibility. Yeah. But he's saying that like attracts like, and we've come round and round and round, and you've done this many. I don't want to mix people up. Your husband and Kitty have done this many times, and He's saying it's a gift to both of them, and there's soul growth that happened with it, and it's not over yet. And Kitty's not here, but he's not. What is he saying? He's not opposed to coming back.
Yes, that's what I've been getting. Is that's the thing we needed to get to. That Lady is the spirit guide. Kitty wants to come back, and this was a great reading. Thank you so much for it. This was good.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
He was showing me like he's tying this up like shoelaces. He's just tying some things up. And he'll be back.
Good. We could use that.
Yeah, you could. You're definitely tying things up. The kitten's going to be in squim and probably will like shoelaces and maybe even get in the boots and shoes and hang out when it's a little kitten. Yeah. So thank you for your call.
Thank you.
I love it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So Carter, who's next?
All right. We have Karen from California. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Karen. Welcome.
Hello. Hi. Thank you so much for taking my call. I see that you're from Shasta. It's a place I've always wanted to go and visit. I don't know. I've just heard so much about it. Wanted to check it out. So the reason for my call is because it's a little silly, but I think my husband took my old phone, and I have like important information in there. And the reason why I suspect he took it is because I did the same one time when I was upset with him. It was an older phone. It wasn't like a current phone he was using. It was just like an old phone. And
so what's your question? Is it you want your phone back?
Yes, I need my phone back. It's important information in there that I'm very upset about.
Okay, well, when I'm missing something, I call in St. Anthony, and I light a candle, and I say, St. Anthony, something's lost. It must be found. In this case, it's Karen's old phone. She believes her husband has it, and we just need you to bring it back to her, no matter what was going on between Karen and her husband. The bottom line is we need some divine intervention, and she needs her phone back. So call into the show in 2 weeks and let us know you get the phone back. Okay, Karen?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Also, I wanted to see if there was a reading for my marriage. It's rocky, and it's never been unrocky. At this point, I'm kind of like...
So you wanted a reading on your rocky marriage? Is that what you said?
Pretty much.
Okay. Well, what I'm seeing is that's a really deep issue, and that's not going to be taken care of in a 3-minute live on-air reading. I highly do recommend that you do book a private one-on-one session for that. And I don't know if you've been listening, but we are offering $50 off today if you call for the session. And the way to do that is you call my husband. He's on standby right now. The number's 530-859-2499. Just tell him that you're listening to the show, Animal Soul Wisdom, and you would like a private session, because there's a lot of, just for one thing that's going on with you two, you have in your etheric blueprint of your marriage with your husband a lot of relationship entities. And no marriage is going to work when there's relationship entities in there. You've got to get them out, because they will cause all kinds of problems. And also, you and your husband, but actually it feels like a little bit more you, have some aspects of yourself that you don't know you've created that sabotage your relationships. And it's not just with him. It's with yourself, so there's quite a pattern in there. So we do have some really deep work to do. So that's what I'd recommend. Okay? Thank you for your call, Karen.
Yeah, please call Robin, Karen.
Okay.
It'll be very, very helpful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Who's the next call?
Looks like we've got,
right,
is it Kelly or Kellis?
Kellis from Seattle.
Kellis.
Welcome to the show.
Hi, Kellis. There?
What's your question?
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
Sorry.
What's your question, Kellis?
Sorry about. Well, I just kind of wanted to see if there was any guidance coming through. I'm sorry. I'm taking care of a baby right now, and she woke up for a minute, so I ran out of the room. I've been going through a lot of different changes. I'm on my own spiritual path as a healer, and I'm also feeling kind of lost. I was guided to call today in case there was something trying to come through for me.
Okay, Darcy, are you getting something right off the bat here?
I guess I would ask you to go first, because I believe I know Kellis, and I want to be clear and pure and not go back to a pastor.
Okay. So in your case, Kellis, would you ask the energy disruption that you're feeling if it's your energy, someone else's, or a combination of energy, and tell me what you hear?
I don't feel like I have an energy disruption so much as just not really sure my place on the planet. I'm not really sure exactly like where my calling is. I have a lot of different interests in a lot of areas when it comes to healing.
Okay.
And I just thought I was just curious if there was something like standing out, like glowing or something in my energy.
Well,
but
the reason why I asked you if you felt a disruption in your energy is because I feel that there's a spirit around you that either never was in your highest good or is now no longer useful to you. So again, I would actually am being guided to use a different technique to shapeshift your energy. So let's go about it this way. In the name of Mother, Father, God, we call upon the energies that are the highest and holy for Kellis, and we ask that any energy that is out of alignment with her high self, past, present, parallel, future, throughout all time, space, and beyond, be released, wiped off clean, sent back to source, null and void of all information, instructing those beings of universal law and calling upon higher consciousness to send forgiveness now. We also ask that Kellis's high self bring into her now any up-leveled or the highest and holiest guides and guardian angels, masters and ascended masters, overlighting divas. There we go. It's in the overlighting divas. So it's in the overlighting diva of your career. That's where there's a little bit of a disruption still. The energy's clearing in the bigger space that I was working on with you. But in terms of the overlighting diva of your career, there's some sticky stuff in your aura, with your career, but also the overlighting diva of your career that you used before you became a mom is not the right one for you to have now. So what did you do before you became a mom, or even while you are a mom? What has your career been?
I'm not a mom, I'm a nanny.
Okay, so I'm seeing the baby around you as if you are a mom, that's for sure. So that's what you do professionally? You're a nanny?
Yeah, I've been working with kids for 10 years, but I have like a new baby with me today. Like she's just a couple months old, and she was asleep when I called in, and then she woke up, and I was like, God.
Okay, well, what I'm getting is that what you're doing, actually, you're being called to do something else. So I appreciate that's what you're doing for your finances, but your actual livelihood. I feel in the career sector of your frequency and the being that's coming in to work with you that you're actually an energy healer. I see you with your own practice. Perhaps a Reiki master or some other type of touch healing. I see people coming to you. I feel you have an office in your own home, but it doesn't feel like it's someplace else. I feel like it's someplace that you have people come to you. I feel notoriety with you. I feel you're very, very adept at it. I think you've had a lot of past lives being a healer. So I think you're being called to consider training yourself to step into something new, and I'm getting you're going to be very, very good at it. So that's what I receive for you as a message. Thank you for your call.
Well, thank you very much. You're very on point. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. She's an energy healer and an animal communicator. She does a lot of things, and I felt that about her, but I also know it. I don't know if we have time for a break. Do you want to do a quick break or keep going, Robin?
Let's just take calls.
Okay.
As long as we share our websites, mine's robinalexis.com. If you want to have a private reading with me, I am offering $50 off for people who call right now to my husband. He's waiting to take calls. The number is 530-859-2499. 530-249-8599, and you'll get $50 off if you mention the show. And I know Darcy's running a special too, if Darcy wants to share that before we go to more calls.
$50 off an hour reading, and that can be animal communication, mediumship, or something else, energy healing. And go to my website, darcypariso.com. Darcy is with a Y, D-A-R-C-Y, and Pariso is like Paris with an O, P-A-R-I-S-O. So go ahead and do that. And we're ready for that next call. We'll get as many in as we can.
So we actually don't have any more calls. We have about 6 minutes left in the show. So if you want to call in, 1-800-930-2819, we might be able to fit you in.
Okay. I looked down and I thought I saw one more there. Okay. If you're that lucky person, call now, or otherwise.
Yes, call now. It would be fun to speak with you. But in the meantime, I want to talk a little bit about how I met my husband, who is waiting on standby to take your calls.
I would love to hear that story because I know it.
Yeah, well, it's very unusual. I had given up on being in a relationship. He had given up on being in a relationship. I had gone on a business trip to Ireland and England, where a woman, other people too, they used to hire me to travel with them to be their private mystic, clairvoyant, psychic. And I'd tell them whatever was going on wherever we were. And on this one particular trip, there was this man who, the first day I met him, he kind of caught my eye, but the night after I met him, I had a dream that I was going to marry him, and I woke up and I was so mad. And, my feet hit the floor, and I'm like, "What? I'm never going to get married again." And then I went into the restaurant area of the hotel that we were all staying in. And he was sitting there, and I just went over to him, and I sat down right on his table, and I said, "Who are you anyway?" and he didn't tell me the things I ended up learning. But at the end of the trip, we were in Salisbury Cathedral in London, and he clearly was having an issue. So I walked up to him very quietly, and I knelt down, and I just put my hand on him, and I said, "Look, I can see past lives, and I'm seeing you're having bleed through from a past life, and that's why you're so upset. Can I help you?" And he said yes, and I told him what I saw, and he had a soul retrieval, and he felt much better. So he came out of the cathedral, and he handed me his business card, and he said, "Hi, I'm Robert Bordenaro. I run radio stations. Would you like your own radio show?" And I said, "Okay." And I said, when I was 3 or 4 years old, I can't remember at this point, I had a near-death experience where Master Christ Jesus told me that if I could live through the first half of my life, in the second half, I'd move to the city where movies are made and be teaching the truth about spirituality and the media. And I told Bob that in this situation, and he looked at me and he said, 28 years ago, an astrologer told me I was going to meet a woman like you, and I was supposed to help her teach spirituality in the media. So then I flew to Los Angeles because he lived in Beverly Hills at the time. I lived in New Hampshire. And the first time he took me to the radio station, all the energy and the stimulation was way too much. And I said, "Oh, no, I can't do this." Mm-hmm. So we actually spent the weekend together because it was fun. And then I flew off and did some other things for a couple of weeks with someone else. And then I was flying back through Los Angeles to head back to New Hampshire. And he met me again. And I said, "What do you think about us connecting?" And he said, "Okay." I said, "Well, I just picked you. You're mine." Ever since then, we've been together. And so after I moved to Beverly Hills and lived with him initially, then he eventually gained confidence and comforted. And I started, doing radio and TV work. And then we did develop a radio show for me called Mystic Radio, initially that we launched when we lived in the Los Angeles area. And then we moved to the Seattle area, where we then put the show in KKNW, where I met Darcy. And now we live in Mount Shasta, but we can broadcast live from here because we have remote equipment. And it sounds like we're right at the station in Seattle. And now I'm doing the shows as a special guest with Darcy. So anyway, I figured we had the time I'd share that story. So
I love that story.
And you tell them you want the $50 off the reading, you can just tell them that I was talking about them live on the air.
I love that story. And you've changed so many lives. I mean, I've taken your classes and done the meditations and different things. And I met you and Dr. Pat on KKNW at the same time. And I would listen to both of you. And it was about 14 years ago.
Oh, how exciting.
It's so funny that here I am later, on the Dr. Pat show and Transformation Talk Radio. and working with you. So that's wonderful. What was I going to ask you? There's one question. I think we have time for it. We do. Can you tell people about Jimmy Kimmel and Snoop Dogg?
Yes. When I was living in Beverly Hills, I did know the producer of the television show Jimmy Kimmel Live. And I was watching the show and I could see there were ghosts. Like through the TV, I was watching it going, oh my goodness. The El Capitan Theater is so haunted. So I called the producer and I said, do you guys realize that place is really haunted? And the ghosts are like walking around on set while you're trying to do the show. I said, you need that place cleared. And she said, well, come on live and do a clearing. So I happened to be on that night with Snoop Dogg. And, when you go on these shows, they direct you how to behave. So I went on and was kind of silly and having a good time with Jimmy and Snoop Dogg, and actually did minor clearing that was live during the show and did the rest off camera. But after the show, after I did the clearing on the show that I did do, one of the spirits that I was channeling jumped in my body, and she had a major crush on Snoop Dogg. And so I, as Robin, the spirit in me jumped in Snoop Dogg's lap. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did this. But it was great television, right?
Yeah.
And so after that, I went to a party, and Snoop Dogg is so nice. I was so shocked, really. Very, very nice. And Jimmy Kimmel was lovely. They were all really, really nice people. But I had to go and get an exorcism the next day from someone else because I did not know at that point in time how to manage my energy being live on television in a new situation and not let a spirit jump into me. So I had to go get some help, but I got her out.
Wow. That's quite a story. I love it, Robin. I love that story. Hey, one last time, we're going to have to say goodbye here in just a minute. So any message, anything that you want to leave before we head out?
Well, I do want to say that I think it's interesting that I did have that near-death experience that said at 3 I'd wind up in Hollywood, and I wound up meeting Bob, doing the shows, and now I have this script called Robin's Song that is being marketed in Hollywood, and I'm extremely excited about that. And to show people the blessing of life, just open it up and allow divine intervention in, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And if you want a reading, make sure you call my husband right now and get the $50 off. It's 530-859-2499. And for more information about my work, visit robinalexis.com. Thank you.
And thank you, Robin. Thanks so much. And all our listeners, we appreciate you, and the callers. Thanks for calling in and being brave. And we loved every one of you. Thank you again for calling. This is Animal Soul Wisdom with Darcy Pariso. I look forward to the next time.
Thank you for listening.
Bye, Robin. Thank you.
Wisdom Radio, tapping into the wisdom of our animals, angels, and masters with Darcy Pariso. Tune in monthly as Darcy shares stories and insights on how to better understand and deepen our relationships with animals. Working with light and ancient techniques, Darcy is here to guide you through the process and provide inspiration to move forward. For more information or to listen to this show, visit DarcyPariso.com.